Hello, my name's Bonnie Tawse, and I am the editor of the Belt Cookie Table Cookbook. It was published by Belt Publishing out of Cleveland this past June, and I'm here today to just talk briefly about the cookie table tradition and tell you a little bit about its history, how it came to be, what a cookie table might look like, and then just give you a couple of resources, and then that'll be it. So thanks so much for joining me. So again, my name's Bonnie, and the question I always get is, well, what is a cookie table? So a cookie table is a tradition that started in the areas between Youngstown, Ohio, and Pittsburgh, and kind of all the little towns in between. There is a lively debate about whether it started in Youngstown or Pittsburgh. And for our purposes, we're just going to not get in that debate and say it's just alive and well in both cities and everywhere in between. And I refer to this whole little hyper region as the Cookie Belt, part of America. And the cookie table tradition started when immigrants were coming to the cities, often to work in places like steel mills. And so you have people coming from Italy, Hungary, Czechoslovakia, Poland, those kind of countries. And they are coming and they're working and they're sort of setting up their lives in America, and people are starting to get married. And so what's happened is people would get married and they just did not have the means to buy a super fancy and quite expensive wedding cake. So when you think of like the two or triple tiered white icing cake, that just wasn't realistic. And so what they did is they started asking their family and friends if they could help contribute to their cookie table at their wedding so that all the guests could have something a little sweet to be a part of the celebration. And so people, all the moms and aunts and cousins would come together and just do all kinds of baking and set it all out on this beautiful spread. And so it hasn't changed that much since then. Although it's definitely gotten, I would think, more elaborate. Cookie tables today are known to have anywhere from hundreds of cookies to thousands of cookies. And the goal with a cookie table is to have lots of variety. So when you approach a cookie table, you want there to be different shapes and different sort of textures and different flavors. And along with the cookie table goes a certain amount of bragging rights in terms of how many cookies are there, how many were baked, by family members. Some people don't have the time. Now they have the money and they don't have the time to bake their own. So they might hire a local bakery or a caterer to make all their cookies. And some people, I've heard, do a little bit of both. They might have their very favorite recipes baked by their grandmas and their aunties and friends and things, and then supplement it with things from their favorite local bakery. There are no rules, like hard and fast rules, but the main goal is that it's this spread, and when you approach it, it's flowing. I'm moving my hand like this because they'll use like platters and platforms and tiers and stack things up on towers and cake stands and things, so that there's literally like movement and height, so that when you're approaching the table, you're like, ooh, look at that. And it's just a delightful thing to get to be a part of. With COVID, the cookie table tradition has had to pivot like everything and everybody else, or adapt. So they're still happening. Some are happening on much smaller scale. And some places rather than having, you pick up a little plate and choose all the cookies, a lot of the families now are pre-packaging an assortment of cookies in just really pretty bags or boxes for you to take home. It can be whatever it needs to be depending on what's going on in the world at any time. But the tradition did not waver at all. It went on pause for, I think, a couple months during the pandemic, but it's definitely alive and well. People do often ask, like, well, what are the types of cookies that you're going to find at a cookie table? And so there definitely are some classics. The ones that come to mind are things like clothespin cookies. These to me are just like so representative of the love and the time and the energy and the skill that goes into cookie tables. So clothespins, sometimes also called lady fingers, it's this delicate homemade puff pastry. It gets wrapped around. It used to be a wooden clothespin. Some people still use those, but now there's stainless steel rods, and it gets wrapped around it and then baked. They're incredibly fragile, so you have to be very, very careful when you're working with them. And then they get filled with a really, really lovely light cream. Sometimes it's like a vanilla cream. Sometimes it's a marshmallow cream. Lately, I've even seen people that are now doing like chocolate clothespins. So again, they evolve. So that's one. Another one would be Kolachi. And I love this one because it's not a cookie at all, but they seem to be at almost all of the cookie tables. A kolachi is an Eastern European dessert, and it comes from the Czech word for wheel, and it's basically a yeasted dough that is rolled, and in that is rolled up with a filling of either ground nuts or like baked down fruits like apricots or plums or poppy seeds. And I think like a sweet cream cheese is one as well. And so it's rolled and baked and then sliced in these thin slices and set out. So classic cookie table, which is in a cookie. And just right there, it's a great example of how, now cookie tables are these multicultural affairs where over time of like friends and neighbors and, co-workers and people all contributed to cookie tables were bringing their own cultures and their own traditions to the table. So you might have like Greek baklava, and you might, you know what I mean? You might have a Polish little kiffle cookie or something, and they're all coming together, and it's this beautiful array of sweet treats. Even though there are these classics, there are constantly like new, modern, fun cookies being added to the cookie table kind of palette, as it were. So macarons are really popular now because they can be made in such beautiful colors and flavors, bright green kind of margarita or key lime flavors, or shortbreads that are infused with Earl Grey or lavender or things like that, or just fun like the bride's favorite cookie is chocolate chip, so there's going to be chocolate chips. So there really are no rules. It's just a matter of having a nice representation of cookies that are in different textures, different flavors, taste good. I always say like that's the number one rule. Like just make sure your cookies and your sweet treats taste good and they're made with love. I think that's really, really the spirit behind it. Let's see. Other thing is there is a great resource if people want to like keep the conversation going and learn more. It helped me immensely when I was doing research for the book. It's the Youngstown Cookie Table Facebook group. And just look it up. You have to join up, but it was started in 2010. There's more than 15,000 members. It's phenomenal. People are daily having conversations, not just about cookies, but baked goods, but definitely cookie tables are come up almost daily. So it's a really fun place to visit. I also wanted to mention the Mahoning Valley Historical Society. They traditionally have had an event called Cookies and Cocktails every year, and not sure if they're having it again this year or kind of a modified version of it, but it's this lovely gala, and they have local bakers bake and contribute cookies. The event that I went to last year had 8,000 homemade cookies on this massive kind of epic cookie table, and it was a delight. The other thing that's really important with the cookie table tradition is that the bakers always made more than would really be eaten at the celebration you're at. And so the spirit of it is that you fill your little plate and you go back and you're meeting with friends and enjoying your cookies. But then you're expected to then take either like a little box or a little bag home. And that you will then the next day, maybe for breakfast even, have a really strong cup of coffee and then have a cookie or two from the celebration before, so that you can like sort of have a moment of delight again and remember and just be thinking of like, oh, what a beautiful party that was. What a beautiful celebration it was. And so that's just something I love about the cookie table tradition, is that they want to make sure that the celebration and the fun and the love that went into it, you feel it the next day too. And you get to enjoy cookies for breakfast. And who doesn't love that? So thank you for your time. Again, I'm Bonnie Tawse, and it's the Belt Cookie Table Cookbook. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much.